Hello there, this is Battleborn again. Today's video, I'm going to talk about CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. But I'm not going to talk about CPTSD in usual fashion, because I was thinking to myself how to describe CPTSD, and I came up with the conclusion that there is not any use to describe CPTSD to people that, even if they have CPTSD, there's no use of describing it, going over all the symptoms and all of those things, because I believe CPTSD is a state of mind. It's something that has happened to your brain and your mind. There are some certain symptoms that is the same, that is kind of like goes with CPTSD, but reading all those symptoms doesn't really help, not for me at least. It can actually make things worse sometimes. So what I was thinking was that I'm going to try to explain CPTSD. And I'm going to use cats to do so. The reason is because I think it is easier to understand when you see images. At least it is for me. If I can see an image of something, I can more easily understand it. So I'm going to show you this image of a domesticated cat. It looks pretty comfortable, peaceful. Somebody's probably taking pretty good care of this cat. It has a name tag and everything, so yeah, it looks like a peaceful creature. And this is how I would describe you before CPTSD has occurred or kicked in. This is how it feels when everything is good in life. You are in a peaceful place. You haven't seen evil yet, and that is what I think is very important to talk about, because I believe there is a switch. There is a change in our brain and our mind and our soul when we have seen evil. And when I'm saying evil, I'm referring to, of course, the narcissist, because this channel is about narcissistic abuse. And when we have come face to face with evil, something changes. Something changes, because we all of a sudden realize that, hey, this world is not, people are not like us, or people are not like you. Some people are actually trying to hurt you, and they're not only trying to hurt you, because you might already understand that some people are not good, but when you get to the level of a narcissist, it's more like you understand that some people can be sadistic, and that's a whole nother game, that actually people can invest their time into hurting another human being just for pleasure. So what ends up happening is that you change when CPTSD kicks in, and I believe has to do with you have seen something that you cannot unsee. You cannot go back. It's you have to deal with it. You have to deal with what has happened to you, and there is a switch. And when CPTSD kicks in, we feel like everything is just, things are running. Things are not going slowly as it does when you are in a peaceful state like this cat. So what ends up happening is you become like this, which is not a peaceful place to be. This is not a peaceful, you can tell. And the difference between the cat I showed you and this cat is that this cat is not a domesticated cat. This is a wild cat. This is a cat with no owners, probably never been around humans, never been socialized with humans. And you can tell. And you can tell by the difference in the eyes. And I guess that is what when I came across this image, I saw those eyes and I was like, yeah, I remember those eyes. And I have seen those eyes before. Not exactly like those eyes, but I've seen the stare, the look, and the difference between the cat that I showed you previously and this one is that this cat knows that it knows evil. It knows shit. It knows that shit is coming to it, and it has seen a lot of shit as well. The other cat I showed you probably has only lived inside its house. It's been taken well care of, and gets everything it wants probably, and yeah. But this cat has struggled. You can tell. You can just tell by the way it looks. It's anxious, and it's trying to survive. And those eyes, they don't trust people, and that's also something you will have a problem with after or when you have CPTSD. The level of trust is extremely low. You don't trust anybody basically, depending on who hurt. Well, let me put it like this: depending on what kind of position the narcissist was in, if your narcissist, or if the narcissist in your life was your father or mother, or maybe both, and this has been ongoing since childbirth, since you were born, you have never been able to trust a human being. Think about that. So this is exactly like this cat. You haven't been able to trust anyone, and you have been fending for yourself. You've been surviving and fighting on your own since you were very, very young, and that's all you know. So yeah, I think CPTSD is a state of mind. It's a way. I'm not saying that you cannot come back to a peaceful place. You probably will, but it will take some time. It will take a lot of time and work on your own behalf, and it has to do with coming to the realization that things are not only nice and things are not only good in this life. And you might already know that. Since I said, a lot of people that have gone through narcissistic abuse as adults have been narcissistically abused as children as well. But what happens when you get re-traumatized as an adult is that all that shit that you have been trying to heal from childhood, from a young age, is now resurfacing, and all those old wounds that has healed, they now are open again. And that is what the narcissists do. If you have been in a narcissistic relationship as an adult, they open up all your old wounds, and they pour salt into it, and they mess with you, and they play with you, and they see that you're hurt, but they don't care. So all of those old wounds are now open again, and you got to deal with the abuse that you go through as an adult, and you have to deal with the abuse that you went through as a child at the same time. That's a tough one. That's a real hard thing to do. So you become like this, and this cat is a cat that you can probably tell has only one eye left, and this cat knows it only has one eye left. It also knows that there is a lot of bad other cats out there that is not going to back down, and that doesn't care if they take his eye. So this cat is you after CPTSD, basically, or during CPTSD. You know now that, you only have one eye left. You only, so to speak, you can't afford another round as narcissistic, as a victim of narcissistic abuse. You have to reframe everything. You have to reframe who you are. You have to reframe what the world is. You have to reframe who the narcissist is and who the narcissist was in your childhood. You have to reorganize everything, basically. It's a very, very big task, but you have to do it, because you can't afford to lose that other eye, because you have to. So you're wounded now. You're wounded. Your brain is wounded. PTSD, CPTSD is measurable in physical tests. It's visible in the brain. So it's actually a physical wound that we feel. It's not something that we just make up. We can actually feel that we're hurt. Our brain is hurt. Our brain is stressed out. Our brain has had enough. Our body has had enough. It's not only our brain, it's everything, the whole system has told us that, hey, you better watch out now, because I can't take anymore. You have to deal with the shit that is in front of you. You have to get away from these people that is hurting you. That's what your body is telling you when you have these events. So yeah, your eyes is gonna change. Your demeanor is gonna change. Your thoughts about the world is gonna change. Your outlook on humans or other human beings will change. You will be more wary, which is a good thing, but you will be hyper aware of your surroundings, of other people, of what people are, what kind of intentions they have. Because all of a sudden now you know that the world is not made up of people only like you, people that don't. You have seen the narcissist, and you have seen that some people are actually sadistic. They're sadistic. They're sadists, and you see your brain. Your brain tries to hide this from you as long as possible. As long as possible, because if you went through narcissistic abuse as a child, your brain is not going to tell you that. If you have to live in that environment, your brain is not going to shut down into CPTSD, usually at a young age. It's going to try to hide it from you. It's going to try to help you out of that situation until you're out. And when you're out, you're going to get, the flashbacks, the memories, the nightmares, all these things. They're going to come back to tell you that, hey, we need to work. We need to fix this. Your body is hurt. These people have hurt you mentally, physically. It's the same thing. It's only different definitions of the pain. So when we're out of it, we are actually not out of it. That's when the healing begins, and that's the only time the healing can really start, is when we go no contact. You can't heal when the narcissist is around. It's impossible, because the narcissist is not going to let those wounds rest. It's always going to be picking at it. It's always going to reopen those wounds for you and even make them bigger. So when you go no contact is when most people get these symptoms of CPTSD. You will probably get some of these symptoms in the relationship as well, but you're not going to read it as CPTSD. You're probably going to read it. You're going to tell yourself that you're stressed out and all of these things, right? Which you are, which you do become with the narcissist if a narcissist has been in your life. But it's not until you go strictly no contact that your body is going to be able to heal. And that's what happens really, I think, also when we have these CPTSD symptoms, is it's healing and it's painful. It's many scars that needs to heal. So I hope this was helpful for you to try to understand the difference between how we are before narcissistic abuse and how we are after narcissistic abuse. At least to me, it was like I was just seeing these pictures and I was like, yeah, you know, there's a big difference between the eyes, especially the eyes of the domesticated cat that, you know, is living a happy life without any or not, it probably has some anxiety as well, but you know, it's a difference between the look of those eyes and the cat that has never been socialized, that has never been in touch with humans, and is probably super scared and wary and afraid of human beings. And yeah, so that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening in, and please subscribe if you would like to, and have a good day.